Hi Dixons, I'm Faisal Musa, Chief People Officer. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. In this mini-series, we're continuing to tell our story of putting ED&I at the heart of our strategy, making sure it's bigger than a big move and that it's at the core of how we work at Dixons. In the first episode in the series, we laid out our why, and you can find that on our open source platform, alongside our first powerful episode on decolonising the curriculum. Today, I'm going to explain how we have created our ED&I strategy, and in future episodes, you'll hear about measuring impact and the practicalities of putting ED&I at the core of everything we do. If you haven't done so already, do subscribe to our channel. Use the like function and comment below to tell us which episodes have been the most useful for you and what you would like to see on the channel next. Organisations are reflective of the societies in which they operate, and the reality is that our society has a long way to go before it can be considered as being highly inclusive. Developing inclusive cultures where diversity is celebrated and there is equality of opportunity for all members of that community requires hard work. It requires a sustained intensity of effort and commitment over years, not months, and winning the hearts and minds of thousands of people, each one of whom has a differing view on the subject matter. So, what to do? Being successful in delivering an inclusive culture across a school trust requires 4 key elements. Commitment and clarity at the most senior level of organisation, visibly led by the Chief Executive. Significant investment in the development of principals to win hearts and minds and provide the skills and confidence needed to navigate this most complex of subject areas. A clear agreed strategy which combines hard initiatives which can show impact with others in parallel focusing on creating an inclusive culture. A set of measures for each element of the strategy and the skills, systems and expertise to put them in place. At Dixons, we knew we needed our whole executive to be aligned on ED&I, and this required a planned effort through ongoing exec debate and discussion. Saying it's just the right thing to do isn't enough. If we want to achieve our mission to challenge educational and social disadvantage in the North, as a leadership team, we believe that commitment to ED&I is a key factor in decision making for the next generation of teachers entering the workforce. If we fail to retain and attract the best talent from all backgrounds, we'll fail to achieve our mission. Research shows inclusive teams with diversity of experience and thinking drive higher organisational health and performance. Research shows that having teachers from a range of diverse backgrounds leads to better student outcomes. 1/3 of all children being educated currently in England come from underrepresented minority groups. This is even higher in the cities where we operate. Unless we adapt to the changing demographic of our communities, we are in danger of becoming irrelevant. Being clearly aligned at the most senior level has allowed us to collectively drive our messaging and approach from the top of the organisation, at the same time as pushing power down to our teams to drive change from the bottom upwards. In creating our strategy, we put into action our trust trifecta: prepare, plan, proceed. We brought together our senior leadership teams and colleague groups, ensuring myriad voices were given space to contribute. We gathered data from multiple sources, including listening to our colleagues, listening to our sector, considering outward-facing future-focused research, and the ambition that underpins our Dixons mission and therefore our strategic priorities. We then reviewed this data with a working group, with the first task of agreeing what will success look like in this first phase of our ED&I work. Once we had agreed our ambitious pillars, we then worked with our Big Moves methodology to set a clear path forward. Our ED&I strategy is outlined clearly on our website. If you're keen to get into the detail, don't worry. We'll share more about the details of the strategy in future episodes, and you can find more in our first episode of this mini-series. We have elevated our focus on ED&I to our 2 to 5 year plan, making it bigger than a big move, and a lens through which all our big moves are shaped, recognising that while we need to skew resource to it and build pace and momentum, it's a marathon, not a sprint. and the key is to stay the course with constant communication and delivery. Our strategic plan has 3 pillars: culture, representation and curriculum. Initiatives have been subject to rigorous planning and implementation, with some of the initial wins allowing us to demonstrate impact and build momentum, while the longer term task of driving culture is meticulously curated and delivered alongside the hard delivery elements. Our ED&I activity plan can be viewed in the supporting documents. If there's anything on which you want more detail, please contact the team in the email address below. Many thanks, and I hope you found that helpful. Next time we'll focus on how we measure progress.